Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Haifa Port. We are driving now to our first site of interest in Haifa Port. It is the Western Terminal, the oldest terminal in Haifa. It is adjacent to the city, and I'll give you some explanation about the history of the city, the history of the port. You can see this is the most beautiful place in the port. If you look behind you, you see the Baha'i Gardens and the Baha'i Shrine in front of you. And the dream of the mayor of the city was to go down from the mountain, being here in the city, and developing here a waterfront. I mean, a big waterfront covers around 300 dunams. I would like a little bit to tell you about the history of the port or the city, then you understand the importance of this place to all region. Haifa Port, during the Ottoman ruling the area for about 570 years, was just a fisherman village, not more. But Abdul Hamid II, the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, decided to build a rail between Damascus and Mecca to transfer mostly soldiers, pilgrims, and from economic reasons. They needed to build a branch, to bring equipment to build the railway, the Hijaz railways. In 1938, the British Empire also established here a refinery. Now they can have local oil and distilled oil to refuel their naval vessels and also to export. This is why Haifa as a region became a logistic hub with chemical industry, a port, and also a naval port and a railway. And in 2018, all this area of the port actually was regarded as a waterfront. So it is for recreation, dwellings, housing, hotels, and whatsoever, like in Barcelona and in Copenhagen. It's 2,000 meters long of quay and 300 dunams. And they have a permission outlined plan agreed already by the Israeli government to develop it as a waterfront. You just need to develop, nothing more. Now we are here in the Eastern Container Terminal. This is the longest container terminal in Israel. It has about 960 meters of operational quay. The depth along the quay is between 12.5 and 40.5 meters. So it can accommodate vessels with draft up to 13.5 meters. The biggest vessel that can be handled in this quay is about 6,500 TEU. I mean a container vessel with 300 meter long LOA and with about 18 containers across the deck. It is constrained by the quay cranes. We can also handle about 15 or 16 tiers of containers down and up on the deck. All the equipment here is electric. I mean the cranes and also the cranes in the yard. They are RMG, rail-mounted gantries. Part of them are old and we are going to remove them. Part of this terminal will be converted into a general cargo terminal. The oldest cranes will be removed, and here, let's say, we will handle big grains vessels, Panamax and Super Panamax vessels with grains for human feed and also for animal feed. This terminal actually is also, by the government decision, is possible to be developed into a deep water container terminal. It depends upon the investor if he wants to develop the northern part of this quay into a deep water container terminal to serve vessels up to 400 meters LOA. The investor has to give the decision to the government that he is willing to do so by 2030. As you see, we are storing here containers only for 3 high because it is an old container terminal. And maybe in the future we replace the cranes, the yard cranes, maybe with different system of handling. We are just looking for the future to see what it brings to us and what will be the best decision to operate this terminal. We have actually here 8 operational cranes, but we intend to disassemble 3 more cranes and bring here double jeep cranes, 2 double jeep cranes, in order to be able to handle grain cargo vessels. Those 2 cranes, the G10 and G9, are also able to work with grabs. So we already have the ability to operate grabs in this terminal. Actually, the biggest vessel that comes here is about 15,700 TEU. It is about 367 meters long and has 21 containers across the deck. This terminal is able actually to handle more than 1 million TEU per year. Actually, I think they can do more. At the end, when they got in the second phase, when they got more 700 meters of quay, the max capacity will be about 1.9 million TEU. I think we finish here. Let's go to the Carmel terminal. Gentlemen, we are passing now our terminal IT room. This is the TOS room. We are operating here Navis N4 system. You can also see that we have here the automated gate, one of the most sophisticated gates in the world. A lot of electronics devices here. We have 17 lanes. Part of them are in, part of them are out, part of them are sometimes in, sometimes out, as required. It is automated, managed from far away, from remote. And this is our system, Navy system, also control general cargo. Gentlemen, we are now in the Carmel terminal. The planning of this terminal started 1995. Commencing operation was 2011. In this terminal, the length of the quay is 700 meters. The water depth along the quay is 16.2 meters. So we can handle these vessels with draft up to 15.2 meters. And length of 367 meters LOA. And the cranes are able to handle 21 containers across the vessel. One thing we are doing now to advance the terminal is to heightening and extending the boom reach of the cranes. Why? Because this crane was planned in 1995 and also the cranes. So nowadays the vessels have more tiers over deck. So it's not enough, and we are handling vessel of 15.7 KTU, but we are not adjusted for. Not all the cranes are able. In the next 2 years, 4 cranes here will be heightened, and the boom will be the outreach of the boom will be enough to handle the vessels. All the cranes here are twin lift, and all the cranes on the eastern terminal are only 1 lift spreaders. So the efficiency of this terminal is much bigger than the efficiency of the eastern terminal. But working on the cranes there is much easier, so it is actually balanced. The storage area has the capacity of handling about 20,000 TEU slots. We have 5,000 ground slots with 5 container high. All the cranes are RMG, rail-mounted gantries. The investor is able to start building the second half of the Carmel terminal, actually a sibling to this terminal, adjacent to the Carmel here, starting 2033, without having any sort of permission. The government of Israel thinks that in 2036 there will be a need for another quay for big vessels. So this is, we call it Carmel B. This is Carmel A. The length is 700 meters. The width is 300 meters. Carmel B is again 800 meters quay and 350 meters width. So this terminal will be suitable for handling all sorts of vessels. I mean, with deep water quays of 70.3, maybe 18, The entrance canal today already is 80.3 meters because it serves the SIPG terminal, the bay terminal. So the investor is requested to consider building a new terminal by starting 2033 till 2036. If he is not willing to expand the eastern terminal. We had navigations done in Willingford in England, in the simulation in England, and we found out that it is possible to navigate vessels with 400 LOA into the Carmel terminal. Also into the eastern terminal, but mostly into the Carmel terminal. You can see that this Carmel terminal is much more advanced as a manual terminal, not automatic, than the eastern terminal. The cranes are bigger, the capacity is bigger, is better in this, and the utilization of land is much better than in this terminal. This is going to be the main container terminal of Haifa for the next years. We are now expanding our abilities in the general cargo.
Gotcha.
Yes, in the Kishon, which we can't see from here. And we are now buying new 5 double jeep cranes. We already finished the tender. In 3 years, they will be on site. Thank you for being here in the port. I hope you enjoyed the tour.
Thank you so much.
And looking forward to see you here back again. Thank you. Thank you very much.